Hello and welcome back to Monster Hunter World Iceborne, where today we're going to be facing off against Alatreon. That's how they pronounce it in game. I still believe it should be Alatreon, considering the Japanese name is Arubatorion, and the Eon is like Eon. But Alatreon is how they pronounce it in game. And we are going to be hunting it. And we're going to be... Ooh, which one do I have? Evening Star. Okay, that's good. That's the one I've got a better set for. And sure, why not? Yeah, there's two Alatreon quests. One where it starts in fire mode, one where it starts in ice mode. That's important. I am sorry that I can't show you my very first run of Alatreon because I didn't have a computer when it came out. Yeah, let's get this safeguard. I like safeguard against Alatreon because it's a very dangerous monster. Right, items. Items are important. I don't know off the top of my head how many Alatreons I've killed. I think like 7, maybe 8. 9. Okay. So yeah, not my first. Though if I do kill it, it'll be my first that I've killed solo. I've done it with a friend every single time. The same friend that's been on several of my videos so far. They were using a light bow gun. I was using dual blades.
Should be able to shut down Alatreon's powers.
I was using dual blades because
weapons won't be of much use, huh? Hunters, you got that?
I was using dual blades because switch axe is unfortunately not great for this fight. Oh, this is not the right set. Or at least it's mostly the right set, probably. Yeah, only thing that is wrong is the mantle. I should have evasion mantle, because rocksteady mantle just gets me killed against Alatreon. So yeah. Both my mantles have more speed eating because I like speed eating. Lost a little time on our buff items, but we'll live. Ah, dang it. Sometimes you can actually manage to get on and get a bonk right away. Feels real good when you do. And those horns being all shocky is exactly why Rocksteady's a bad idea and it gets me killed.
You should be able to figure out which elements are effective.
Because if you clutch onto his face while he's doing a lightning attack, his zappy horns will be hitting you constantly, and you'll just end up dead, and I hate it. It's also part of why Switch X doesn't feel very good against him. You can't zero-sum the horns. Oh, that was not the right time for a demon dance. Something very much worth noting is I will almost certainly get myself killed at least once because I'm in demon mode at a bad time. But yeah, what we gotta do is just a bunch of element damage, enough that he falls down like this. And almost got a face wound, but he decided to do a lightning attack. Hooray. Let's go ahead and grab that. Grab that. Ooh, Rip Talon. As far as I'm aware, Rip Talons are the best option that I've gotten from Sparkly. So, yeah, Rip Talons are good to find. And since he's not raging, let's put him back on the floor. Doesn't matter too much whether we do damage to the face or the hands or whatever at the moment. Horns are not currently breakable. But once he goes into dragon mode, we absolutely want to put as much damage as we can on the horns. And here's dragon mode.
Alatreon's shifting elements.
Because, yeah, if we don't get a horn break, then that means we're not going to get the Eschaton Judgment move to do less damage. Which means we will probably end up dead on the next mode change. And I don't like ending up dead. Generally not a fan of being dead. And he's starting to fly, which is not good for us, because it may come as a surprise, but Dual Blades don't have the reach I would like in order to hit anything other than his toes. I mean, we can kind of reach part of the tail sometimes. And as much as I'd like to sever the tail, it is not at all important. I hate this move. I never know exactly where it's going to start or where it's going to end. I get hit by that move probably more than any other, and this one is also a bit unpleasant when you're at low health. I have frequently dodged too early, and thus before he is before he's close enough to do a Superman dive, which just gets me killed. Alatreon, I'm going to need you to stop being such a jerk here. Need you to actually let me get at your horns for more than like a second.
The horns are broken.
There we go.
It doesn't look like it can shift to ice active mode for now.
I gotta say, the break threshold and the element threshold are considerably lower playing solo than playing in multi. It's a lot easier to meet them. So if you're having trouble with that, definitely try this solo. That said, playing solo, Alatreon is also going to spend a lot more time targeting you and doing mean things to specifically you. Whoop. And thus carts are more likely to happen. Yeah, it's way too early to eat again. So we're probably not going to get a second element flinch at this point. If we do, that's going to be great, but I don't expect it to happen. Yep, no second element flinch, but that's fine. As long as you get one, this is survivable. And pro tip, if you're at full health with 200 health, use a Stera Jerky right as your health gets to the halfway point. And thus, you finish looking like this. And there's pods number 1. Oh boy, I am standing in fire. I don't like that horn sweep. It's got a very short wind-up. and its hitbox is deceptively large. Like, you would think it's just the horns, but it's also the space beneath the horns, and, like, basically if you're between his front claws and his horns at any point, you're probably getting hit. At least it doesn't do much damage, but still not a fan. Okay, we gotta get doing some element damage, which means we need him to not be such a jerk to us. Alatreon, please. Brought the mats for more ancient potions, specifically because this guy does a lot of damage when he does do damage. And also, it's a fast means of healing. Lets me be more aggressive. Which this guy kind of requires aggression. So that was a decent para. I would have preferred it in a dragon mode to help with getting the horn. But still, decent para. There we go. Sharpening using a wetfish fin. Great wetfish fin because it's a single scrape sharpen. Much more time efficient when you've got a very angry monster breathing down your neck. And here's dragon mode.
Alatreon's shifting elements.
Making sure those horns stay wounded so I can do as much damage as possible to them. Ooh, the triple.
The horns are broken.
Alright,
Doesn't look like it can shift to ice action.
so it's going to stay in fire mode, which is great. That's the mode we like, because it's the mode we can do damage to. Or at least the mode we can do element damage to. I know I'm not hitting the face with these thorns. It's fine. I doubt I'd be able to get a KO solo anyway. With just 2 thorns, that is. Unfortunately, he's in the air again. Not much I can do. At least I can hop onto the leg and do that. But then it dashes through me, eating multiple charges of my temporal mantle in one go. That's just lovely. Temporal mantle actually doesn't get as much use against Alatreon as I would personally prefer. Specifically because a lot of its attacks are capable of eating multiple charges. By the way, that circular spreading fireball thing is a great opening to hit the horns. Specifically because if you dodge in after the first explosion, then Alatreon's just going to sit there with his horns exposed within melee range for a decent amount of time. Is it enough for a demon dance? It might be. I still don't really fully grasp how to use dual blades, but I'm at least good enough at them for Alatreon. Or Alatreon, I'm sorry. neither one of those hit the face. That's fine. This move is actually a great chance as well, because if you're right behind one of his legs or on a specific side of his face, the lightning will basically never hit you. There's two patterns that the lightning can go in, and neither one of them hits a specific side of his face or behind his front legs. So, yeah, nice and easy. Going for the tail now because we've gotten 2 element flinches, and hey, it's a tail. If we can sever it, that's great. Ooh, more pods. Yeah, 2 element flinches is where it stops being
Alatreon's readying a big attack.
a thing.
Get your healing items ready.
Like, I'm just gonna heal up with this potion, and I don't even have to heal during this. Because I've got 200 health, it does like 170, 175, somewhere around there. Maybe 180. Point is, if you've done 2 element flinches, have max health on maximum of 200, it cannot kill you. You do have to heal if your max health is only 150. But even then, a single potion is enough to do it. And I don't have stamina, so I might die here. Yep. Demon mode. A lot of my deaths can be chalked up to demon mode. I should probably restock my items, considering I'm not going to be losing a mantle by going in here. So we just choose the Alatreon item set. There we go. I've been using my own potions rather than the first aid meds because I'm dumb. Gonna use a gourmet voucher so that I can get me some element res, because hey, element res is good. Probably could have gotten it with Moxie. That would have been smarter. Oh well. But yeah, for some reason, against this monster that uses every element, element res is useful. Who would have guessed? Dang it. Press the dodge button a moment too late there. Oh, right, I haven't been using first aid meds because I actually have to scroll to them on my bar. I don't have them on my quick menu thing. My radial menu, that's what it's called. Radial. Sorry, it's hard to think properly while fighting Alatreon.
You're doing a good job containing Alatreon's power.
Sorry, Alatreon. Best part about the element knockdowns, if you're already positioned properly at the start of it, they're long enough to get 3 demon dances. Which feels real good. Not having plugs doesn't feel so great, especially when you're in demon mode, so your stamina is decreasing the whole time.
Alatreon's shifting elements.
I always move out for that Dragon Pulse during the element shift because I don't exactly know the timing, and more often than not, I get myself hit. Well, got myself hit there, but at least I wounded the face. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any more horns to break. Which means if we let it survive long enough to get to an Eschaton Judgment, the big super move, then it will be swapping to ice mode and we'll be kind of boned. But honestly, that's fine. We do enough raw damage that we can probably bring it down during the ice mode. Or if I get myself killed, I could swap to a fire weapon. Though ideally, I don't get myself killed. Ideally, this guy gets out of the air. It's about time for another sharpen. Though not till after this. I do not like the flying Dragon Pulse. It's such a big AoE. Well, at least he's out of the air. We're not sharpened, though. There we go. Cat's going to bring us a wasp. That's very nice of it. Ouch. Great Sushi Fish Scale is another very useful thing to bring. It's a solid heal on top of replenishing at least a good chunk of red health. And it gives recovery speed. And it's a much faster animation than a Mega Potion. So yeah. Bring those to also help me keep the pressure up. Ooh, we got lucky there. So yeah, oh, here's a judgment. I shouldn't be attacking right now. This is dumb. I guess it wasn't so dumb. We got damage in. We were still at full health. Everything's fine. Though Alatreon is in ice mode, which is bad for us.
Ice element has no effect. You can't shut down Alatreon's power with that.
Yeah, thanks for telling me
Strike the monster
when
and find out which element
I'm
is a
trapped down here. You can't use Farcasters in this quest. Like, it's okay for them to say that when Alatreon is in its first mode. So, like, if you're not doing element damage and it hasn't even changed modes yet, that's one thing. But when they say it after it's changed modes, well, what do they expect you to do? Thankfully, if this thing does Eschaton Judgment again, even though we'll probably die, it'll be back to fire mode. I like fire mode. Fire mode is what I can do damage to. And that's Pods 3 right there. So this guy should be going Scully pretty soon. We might be able to kill him when he's in Dragon mode. And it's not impossible to get an element flinch purely in Dragon mode, but it is harder because all the elements except Dragon are just 1-star effective instead of 3-star when you're actually appropriately element matched.
Alatreon's shifting elements.
Let's drink us a Dash Juice. Dash Juice is good. Doesn't last nearly as long as I would like, but it's good. If I could get a mount, that would get us a nice knockdown. And a nice knockdown would absolutely help with getting the element flinch. You flying does not help with getting the element flinch. Feels so weird having an Alatreon that's able to use water. I mean, I guess it's more oil than water based on the fact that it's super flammable, but still, an Alatreon that can cause water blight if you're not blight immune. That's new. And honestly, with the exception of the damage check for the element flinches, I really like this fight. This Alatreon feels more Alatreon than any previous Alatreon ever did. Even though they removed the claw break for some reason. Don't know what that reason is, but they did it. Missed. This little clutch claw transition thing from the circle attacks. I don't know the names of anything, but I do know that going into that clutch claw attack means that I actually get to wound things in one go instead of multiple, which is why I do it so much. Damn it. Why did that last one have to be the vertical? Let's get out of that. We don't have enough health to risk it right now. Probably shouldn't be mantling up, considering we're probably going to die pretty soon. Because if it does an unweakened judgment, which it's doing right now, this is a guaranteed cart. But at least we can do some damage. Also, he's Scully. Yeah, that does 400 damage or more in the space of about 2 or 3 seconds. As far as I'm aware, you cannot heal through it.
You need to suppress Alatreon's power using elemental
And
weapons.
actually, we don't need to change weapons, so... yeah. In we go. We're just not allowed to cart anymore. Big boy's back in fire mode, so we can actually do real damage. Okay, I don't like when I get flinches with the first hit of Demon Dance. Feels like a giant waste. And I've got no stamina. And no health. Bad combo. Get another one of those crafted right now. Wasn't positioned exactly right. Didn't have my camera where I needed it to really see, but still got proof right there that you can dodge into the circular expanding fire and get some face hits at least.
You're doing a good job
All right.
containing Alatreon's power.
Next judgment will not be lethal. At least not if I heal through it. Got the tail. Unfortunately, just tore my health to shreds because we got it on the first hit, which really wasted the knockdown. That's what I'm most upset about there. Because those element knockdowns are very important times for getting in lots of damage. Get this mantle off so it recharges. Go for a mount. Nope, too far. Well, too far for multiple hits.
Alatreon's shifting elements.
Who knows how much mount I've even built up by now anyway. I sure don't. But apparently that much. Brace during the little swoopies. Move to another part during the flappies. This mount's easy peasy as long as you do those two things. And down he goes. We haven't broken the wings. We're not gonna break the wings. I don't know that melee weapons can even do much damage to them, so yeah. Face and tail are the only breaks we're getting, and that's fine by me. And clutching on for a wound. Truly? Truly. Let's do front legs. If we can get both sets of legs wounded, then we can do more damage. Or it can just be dead. That's also an option. Hooray. My first solo Alatreon. Oh, and we're right near the tail, too. This is not at all an easy quest. It's very high pressure, but I really like it. It's a great incarnation of Alatreon. I don't like that I can't use Switch Axe against it. and still get the element flinches? I mean, it's definitely possible, but not for me. Not at my skill level. So, yeah, I had to switch weapons. I don't like feeling forced to change weapons. But I'll do it if I have to. I don't mind learning new weapons. And, yeah. Once you can get past the element DPS check, the rest of the fight's really fun, and I really like it. So yeah, good monster. Great music, too. I love the new renditions of the Monster Hunter Tri music. And no Dragon Sapphire this time, but that's fine. I've gotten plenty. Oh. A deco I didn't have one of yet. Handicraft something. Didn't quite catch it because I pressed the button too fast, expecting it to not be anything interesting. And with that, we've taken on Alatreon. I'm sorry I didn't think to record the lead-in roundtable discussion. Like, I didn't think to save it with the share button on the PS4. But basically they were like, oh, there's some new monster there that can do element things, and we asked the guild about it, but someone burnt all their records of it because they thought that a monster that had total control over all elements was just pure heresy. So we are going in blind. We don't know anything about it. So be careful and also do element damage. And yeah, I did save the outro roundtable discussion, so we'll at least have that. And I'll go ahead and put that in, I guess, here.
Welcome back. I've been waiting. You were amazing. The elemental shift, the roll of its horns. Did you see it? Was it truly an organ for controlling the elements?
It was.
Hypothetically, the horns allowed it to control the elements, no? Or perhaps the horns were born out of necessity.
Maybe.
And what is the source of its elemental power? If not a physical mechanism, is it something beyond the realm of our understanding?
I mean, for now, sure.
I understand you're exhausted, but please come with me. We have much to discuss. We need your thoughts on Alatreon while they're still fresh in your head, Hunter. Fresh thoughts deserve a fresh transcript, no? Hurry along now. Once everything's recorded, we shall hold council.
My fresh thoughts are that it's a fun fight.
I can't believe you people! Amazing work with Alatreon! It's amazing that our scholars and handlers were able to get everything recorded so quickly.
You have the hunters to thank for that. Everyone in the field and at home were running like a well-oiled machine.
The unique characteristics of Alatreon, far beyond common knowledge, to be able to observe it to this degree is nothing short of a miracle. Considering this was just the first batch of data, it is exquisite.
But is dead. How many more batches
Let's
do you
end the
expect?
chapter here, so to speak, and send this off to the guild. Any objections?
Well, I do have a proposal for you, actually, about future investigations. We need to figure out why Alatreon went to the secluded valley in the first place. Why would it go to such a remote place intentionally? Was it just by chance, or did it have a purpose?
That's right. The secluded valley is also home to that red monster. I find it hard to believe that it went to pick a fight. There's gotta be a reason.
Right. Which is why I think we should look into the connection between Alatreon and that red monster. And let the guild know we're going to continue investigating. Of course, it may be a long while before we uncover anything.
Okay. Your idea sounds good. Get everything ready.
Way ahead of you. I'm almost finished.
Then I shall take the responsibility of reporting to the guild. I'll let them know of both our findings and future plans.
Understood. Thank you.
Ah, that leaves one more thing left unattended. I hope we were able to get rid of that annoying fear of the unknown.
Yes, but there's still much we've yet to uncover. We're just getting started. The path is long, but we'll get there.
Well, you're right about that. Now let's wrap things up, people. Again, fantastic work. Rest up today. You earned it. Dismissed.
So yeah, that round table kind of implies that we're meant to have fought Alatreon between the Safi'jiiva recon and when they actually told us Safi'jiiva's name, which is interesting. And now we've got some exclamation marks. Yeah, probably not. Though it would be pretty cool to see Safi and Alatreon actually face off, like in a cutscene.
Hey!
That's my partner.
Tell that to Monster Hunter Stories. And finally, I realized that I missed this exclamation point when I was going through them previously in that video you just watched, so...
I have returned. I submitted our research on Alatreon to the Guild. They were very impressed, and of course, they agreed that it would be in everyone's interest for us to continue our research. But just before we set sail for home, a group of, how shall I say, self-important people showed up.
Hopefully not the kind of people who burns research.
They're the type that fear the old gods, and they came with a warning for us. Stay ignorant of what true fear is, one said. There are things better left unknown, said another. On my way back, that's all I could think about. Just light the flame and burn it all. But what would burning anything accomplish? If the flame was to be lit. Things really are taking an interesting turn. Yes, a fervent turn.
Interesting. So I guess they were the type of people who would burn research. But yeah, that's Alatreon. And yeah, that's this episode. Join us next time whenever something new shows up. I imagine it won't be too long before there's a new Arc-Tempered thing. So probably that. See you then, friends.